Today we're going to be working on commas in compound sentences, and we're working on some punctuation, which is a review of the types of sentences that we've gone over twice already this year. So we have declarative, interrogative, exclamatory, and imperative sentences to review. Commas in compound sentences, and when we talk about compound sentences, what we mean by a compound sentence is that we have two short sentences and we're joining them together. Now, when we join those together, we use what are called conjunctions, which I know you've heard about and worked on in the past, and we'll work on it more towards the middle of the year here again with conjunctions, but those are words like and, or, but, and so. And what you need to think about is when you have two smaller sentences, what conjunction or what word are you going to use to join those together, and that you also add in a comma when you join those sentences together. And the comma comes before the conjunction or the word and, but, or so. In our example here, it says, Rena planned to write her speech alone, but her friends offered to help. And you can see that the conjunction, the word but, is underlined. You can also see that there's a comma after alone, which comes before the conjunction but. And so you have two separate sentences, two small sentences. Rena planned to write her speech alone. That's a complete idea and could be a complete sentence on its own. And her friends offered to help, which is also another smaller sentence that could be a complete sentence on its own. So we used a comma and a conjunction to join those two complete sentences together. In our activity today, it says, add the correct punctuation to make each item a compound sentence. Then write the word that is used to join the shorter sentences. And so you're going to have two complete sentences, but you need to add the punctuation. And in this case, the punctuation is going to be the comma that we have right here. And then you have to figure out which conjunction. And what I mean by conjunction is the words and, but, or so. So you have to look through and figure out which one fits that sentence. Number 1, blue and red confetti fell from the ceiling. Well, that could be a complete sentence on its own. And then it covered the winner could be a complete sentence on its own. So we have to add in our punctuation, and we know that that's going to be a comma, and the comma is going to come after the first complete sentence, which is after the word ceiling. Blue and red confetti fell from the ceiling, comma. And now we have to figure out which conjunction we're going to use. And in this case, it would be and it covered the winner. So we're going to write the word and on the line. And that's how you complete these sentences. So you've got two complete sentences, and they're smaller sentences, and you're creating one compound sentence by adding a comma and a conjunction. So you can go ahead and pause the video here and work on 2, 3, 4, and 5 on your own. Now we're going to move on to punctuation, and this is just simply a review of the types of sentences. And if you look up here at the top box, it says a declarative sentence, okay? And it gives you an example. Miata was nervous but excited too. Remember, a declarative sentence ends with a period, and it just tells you something. Then we have an interrogative sentence, and an interrogative sentence asks a question, so it ends with a question mark. Will Miata run for office next year? Then you have an exclamatory sentence. I hope so. And remember, that expresses great emotion, and an exclamatory sentence ends with an exclamation point. And then we have imperative sentences. Vote for Miata. And those end with a period. Remember, an imperative sentence tells you to do something. Go to your room. Wash your hands. Those are imperative sentences. Remember, they're giving you a command or a direction, telling you to do something. In this activity, you have 5 sentences here, and it says, write the sentence using correct punctuation and capitalization. Then label the sentence as declarative, imperative, interrogatory, or exclamatory. And you can just write D for declarative, INT for interrogative, EX for exclamatory, and IMP for imperative. Don't forget to make the corrections. So when you look at number 1, you can see that the word Y is the first letter of a sentence, so that needs to be a capital W. So why did Ellen run for president and not Jose. And we know that this is an imperative sentence, so it needs to end with, this is an interrogative sentence, and it needs to end with a question mark because it's asking a question. You can go ahead and work your way through 2 through 5 and make sure you're adding in the proper punctuation and then telling me what type of sentence this is. And in this sentence, it's an interrogative sentence, so you're going to write INT.